Why does it seem like Johnny Depp has fallen out of favor with fans recently? In this video, we're counting down the top 10 reasons that everyone has started turning on him. Number 10, the new wave of boycotts. Johnny Depp has made his red carpet return at the 2023 Cannes Film Festival, less than 1 year since his highly publicized defamation trial against his ex-wife Amber Heard. While he has made his so-called comeback, legions of Amber Heard supporters took to social media to protest his slow return to the spotlight and the festival that's supporting him. Prior to the festival's opening, they launched an online campaign with the hashtag #CannesYouNot to call out everyone giving him a platform. Eve Barlow, a journalist and friend of Amber Heard, initially shared the #CannesYouNot hashtag to Instagram. She made a post condemning the festival for supporting Depp's film Jean du Barry. The #CannesYouNot campaign has also spread throughout Twitter, and it's since drawn a lot of attention back to the trial. One Amber Heard supporter spoke to Variety and said, "The Depp v. Heard trial became the vehicle through which the backlash against the METOO movement went viral. Hollywood industry seemed to be riding that backlash to return to the status quo. To open your festival with Johnny Depp, to be frank, it feels like a slap in the face." Number 9, renewed interest. Actress Brie Larson recently got dragged into the discourse surrounding Depp's return to Hollywood. She was left completely stunned after she got singled out by a member of the press to share her thoughts on his film controversially opening the festival. She was asked how she felt about Jean du Barry and whether or not she planned on seeing it. In response, she said, "You're asking me that? I'm sorry, I don't understand the correlation or why me specifically." The reporter then brought up the fact that she was a part of the Time's Up movement, so that's why he was asking her. Although she was a little taken aback by the question, Brie said, "Understood. Well, you'll see, I guess, if I see it, and I don't know how I feel about it if I do." That moment was incredibly uncomfortable to watch, and it has since gone viral across social media, which reignited the whole conversation surrounding the trial. Some people took her side and suggested that the journalist was being unprofessional for asking her that question, because he only wanted to twist her words. But others felt like she had a responsibility to answer it properly, because she was so involved with things like the Time's Up movement and the Me Too movement. Number 8, online ridicule. While a lot of people celebrated Johnny Depp's return to the spotlight at the Cannes Film Festival, others used it as an opportunity to mock his appearance, specifically his teeth, which looked like they were orange or brown in color. Some people on Twitter have been making fun of the close-up photos of his teeth, calling them disgusting. These posts were followed up with some pretty nasty comments, some saying that he looked like he had eaten a bag of charcoal. Unlike many Hollywood stars, he hasn't spent thousands of dollars to get pearly white veneers or expensive composite bonding. Besides, he's also known for transforming his smile depending on the roles that he plays. For Pirates of the Caribbean, for instance, he had extensive gold capping on his teeth, and he held onto those caps until filming closed on the 3rd installment of the franchise. In interviews, he has also admitted to neglecting his teeth for years, and said that he was working to get them fixed. But he's insisted that he is not ashamed of his appearance, and that he is comfortable in his own skin. The actor has been in the public eye for decades, so fans have come to know and love his look. And it sounds like Dior likes it too, because he recently signed a $20 million 3-year deal to continue being the face of Dior Sauvage, which is a fragrance that he has been the spokesperson for since 2015. Number 7, rejecting Hollywood. Depp arrived at the festival to a very warm reception with smiles and cheers from the crowd. He signed autographs and took selfies with fans before the premiere. His film then received a standing ovation at the festival. But despite this kind of reaction, Depp insisted that he simply has no need for Hollywood anymore. And that seemed to upset a whole lot of Amber Heard fans, who called out the festival's organizers for honoring him. At a news conference, Depp addressed the idea that some people thought he shouldn't have been there. He said, "What if one day they did not allow me under any circumstances, no matter what, I cannot go to McDonald's for life? Because somewhere, if you got them all in one room, there would be 39 angry people watching me eat a Big Mac on a loop just for fun. Who are they? Why do they care?" At another point, he claimed that he doesn't feel boycotted by Hollywood because he doesn't think about Hollywood or need it. His film Jean du Barry marks his first return to the big screen since the defamation trial. Less than a year has passed since all of the gritty details of his relationship with Amber Heard was aired in open court. Clearly, his comments did not sit well with those who were still frustrated over the verdict. Number 6. Growing support for Amber Heard. In the months since the trial, support for the actress has been steadily growing. As a result of that, several prominent celebrities have joined the conversation, even if they never meant to be a part of it. On the Cannes red carpet, Dame Helen Mirren's choice of accessories caught the eye of Amber Heard's supporters. She posed for pictures with a folding bamboo style fan imprinted with the hashtag #WorthIt. Some people interpreted this to be a subtle sign of support for Amber. In response to the speculation, Helen shared a statement insisting that no secret message was intended. She said, "I'm a L'Oreal ambassador. They are a sponsor of the festival, and quite truthfully, I picked up a fan because I was hot. Because you're worth it is the official L'Oreal Paris slogan." But regardless of her comments, people consistently pushed this story on social media and turned it into the hashtag #AmberIsWorthIt. On Twitter, they posted things like Helen Mirren stands with Amber Heard because she's worth it, and Helen Mirren hit the Cannes red carpet for the premiere of Jean du Barry with a message of support for Amber Heard and a subtle FU to the film star Johnny Depp. And she used fashion to do it. Bow down to your forever queen of shade. Number 5. Johnny Depp's toxic fan base. Most celebrities have hardcore fans. That's just completely normal. But ever since the defamation trial, a certain chunk of Depp's supporters have made it their mission to go after other women that are speaking out about their own experience. Many women, famous or not, have been targeted online for sharing their story about domestic violence or SA. This is because a lot of people saw the defamation trial as a kind of pushback to the METOO movement. It became such a cultural phenomenon that a lot of women who came forward with similar accusations were labeled as just another Amber Heard. Add that to the fact that Johnny Depp just has so many more fans. Over the 6 weeks that the trial played out, people overwhelmingly showed their support for him. The hashtags Justice for Johnny Depp and Amber Heard is guilty raked in billions of views. Kathy Griffin has since compared his fans to QAnon supporters, and many seem to agree with her. NBC News reporter Kat Tenbarge weighed in on the matter. She tweeted, "The reality is that the way the trial was consumed and analyzed by the public hurts victims. If you can't accept that, you don't live in reality. The QAnon vibes intensify when JD supporters have to reckon with the very real, immediate consequences of that trial." Number 4. The Me Too movement. Just minutes after the verdict was announced, Amber Heard rushed to Instagram and posted a statement declaring the reason she lost. She wrote, "I'm heartbroken that the mountain of evidence was still not enough to stand up to the disproportionate power, influence, and sway of my ex-husband." She really doubled down on aligning herself with the Me Too movement, writing that she was disappointed in what the verdict means for women, and she called it a setback. Quote, "It sets back the clock to a time when a woman who spoke up could be publicly shamed and humiliated," and adding that it sets back the idea that violence against women should be taken seriously. With that post, she made it clear that the verdict was a defeat for all women. At the time, the backlash against the Me Too movement seemed to be at its peak. So many of her supporters also seemed to resonate with the message. Months later, she would go on to win back some celebrity supporters, including women like Julia Fox, who argued that Amber should not be considered the aggressor in her relationship with Depp because of the age gap and the power dynamic between them. Number 3. Amber's move to Spain. It's been reported that the actress has quit Hollywood altogether. She's since been photographed going for a run on the streets of Madrid, which is where she relocated to months ago along with her daughter Una. A source close to the actress said that she couldn't wait to leave the US with her daughter after the trial. She now has a new energy since she's been living in Spain, where she gets a lot more privacy. The trial was also very stressful for her, and it left her exhausted and disappointed as she felt that she was mistreated. So that's why she wanted to start fresh out of the country to put it all behind her. Also, it does help that she's bilingual and can speak Spanish, which might be one of the reasons why she wanted to live there long term. At first, she was rumored to be living in a rented house on the island, but since she has moved there permanently to a new home outside Madrid. Before a settlement was reached after the defamation trial, it was said that she was spending most of her time living in Europe anyway, probably because she just liked the idea of being somewhat anonymous. Number 2. Amber's recent interview. These days, the actress tends not to engage with the members of the press, but she made an exception this time. In her most recent interview, she spoke to a cameraman on the street about her life in Spain. She said, "I love Spain so much. I hope I can get to stay here. I love living here. I hope you are good. It was a pleasure meeting you. I have to move forward. That's life." We didn't really find out very much about her life from that short clip, but it's really interesting to see what she's up to these days because she's been isolated for so long. No one has really heard from her since the trial, and that's certainly what caused some of her fans to worry. But judging from these latest pictures and videos, she does seem to be happy with her decision to leave the US. A source close to Amber previously told People magazine that she couldn't wait to leave the US with her daughter after the trial. Quote, Amber has been living in Spain where she gets more privacy. The trial was beyond stressful for her and she just wanted to turn a new page. She is excited about working and filming again. She was exhausted and disappointed with the trial and she felt that she was mistreated. This is all behind her now because she has a new energy and is focused on the things that she loves. And coming in at number 1, the settlement. In December, Amber released her own statement explaining her decision to settle the case by only paying $1 million to Depp. In doing so, she also doubled down on her position in the trial. She explained that she lost faith in the American legal system and said that the settlement spares her the ordeal of further litigation and allows her to finally emancipate herself from their marriage. Quote, I have made no omission, this is not an act of concession. It's important for me to say that I never chose this. I defended my truth and in doing so, my life as I knew it was destroyed. The vilification I have faced on social media is an amplified version of the ways in which women are re-victimized when they come forward. She went on to say that she exhausted almost all of her resources during the trial, and she was exposed to a type of humiliation that she simply cannot relive. Amber claimed that even if her appeal was successful, the best outcome would be a retrial, and that's something that she simply cannot go through for a third time. For their part, Depp's attorneys released a statement saying, "We are pleased to formally close the door on this painful chapter for Mr. Depp, who made clear throughout this process that his priority was about bringing the truth to light." So what do you think about all the points in this video? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.